We've got a beautiful sunny morning on Cooking with Gerry and some whole foods that I have prepared, and I would like to explain the process. In my frying pan on a low heat, I added about 3 tablespoons of water and some black corn that I had soaked overnight, washing it first. Because the process before you can buy it is the corn is dried. So I washed it and soaked it overnight in water, and I used that soaking water in the cooking process. And I also added the seeds from the squash that I bought from a local farm. Now the seeds can be tough to chew, so I chopped them up as best as I could with a knife, but you can put them into your mini food processor. Makes it easier to chew. Great plant fiber. And that came up to a boil. Then I added about 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and I let it cook on the low heat for about 5 minutes. Then I added that squash, which is similar to butternut squash in color, consistency, and flavor. And I added some sweet potato. Both of those I chopped up into bite-sized pieces. The sweet potato, I like to keep the skin if it looks okay, but I will soak it in a bowl of water for at least 5 minutes after I cut it, just to remove that starch on the outside edges. So those two went in and they cooked for a few minutes. I don't want to cook them for too long because I don't want them to be too soft. And then I added about 3 walnuts and 4 Brazil nuts that I had washed and cut up into smaller pieces. And that cooked for about 2 minutes. Then I added some salt and I turned the heat off. It's been sitting for about 5 minutes now. And the last ingredient, food ingredient, is avocado that I peeled and cut up into smaller pieces. I am also going to add some extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. And I'll stir that around. The avocado I don't want to cook. It's got more nutrition if it stays raw. And there's a bit of liquid, but it should soak up a little bit more as I wait a few more minutes before I eat it. I want to also mention that there's a fairly high sugar content with these specific ingredients, the sweet potato and the squash. So if you're trying to lose weight or you have to be a bit more careful with your blood sugar management, those 2 ingredients might not be advisable for you at this time. But for me, it should be okay, and the blood sugar is balanced with the avocado, the squashed seeds, the almonds, the walnuts, and the oils. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in the frying pan. There it is. Tasty, lots of fun colors, lots of different ingredients you can choose. This is a vegan meal, but you can add lots of ingredients. Eggs would go nice, cheese, leftover meat. If you want raw meat, I would suggest you put it in beforehand and give it enough time to cook, because the overall cook time I used was less than 10 minutes. And depending on the size of the meat, beef, chicken, pork, or fish that you have, it'll take however long it takes for the size that you have. Ground beef cooks really quickly, so maybe you can add that at the same time at the beginning as the black corn and the squash seeds. So there's my breakfast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.